Hey everybody, this is Rick Mount. Hey, this week's Quick Facts, we're going to talk about an important subject in our industry. It's a couple of terms that get misused or swapped in and out all the time, and that's pre-qualified versus pre-approved. Well, some people ask, what's the difference? The simple answer is there's a very big difference. Sometimes even in the processes themselves, often misused terms. So let's talk about that. A pre-qualification really is a simple, quick, easy way to start the process for a would-be buyer to try and understand what's possible, what their purchasing power might be. It usually involves a quick phone conversation that they talk about or discuss the current income and employment of the borrower, talk about the assets or the monies they have earmarked or available for down payment and closing costs, talk about desired payments, and in some cases, they may even run the credit report just to make sure they have an idea of what the credit scores are. The challenge with the pre-qualification is it's meant purely to start the process. Usually it does not involve validating any of that information. So oftentimes pre-qualifications may give you a surface idea of what's available, but they don't protect you against the underwriting process to ensure that your loan opportunity will stand up through underwriting. So a good pre-approval process starts much the same way as a pre-qualification process. The difference being is that there's a big validation and review of the documentation. Review of things such as income. Typically it's 2-year history. They look at W-2s and tax returns, current 30 days worth of pay stubs, and in some cases get verification of employment if they're looking at overtime or bonuses or things that might be more difficult to calculate. They'll also review the assets. They'll look at the bank statements to make sure that the borrower has the seasoning required on the assets to call them themselves to be eligible for down payment. They'll also look to make sure there's no irregular deposits or things that would come to be a problem later in the underwriting process. The credit's thoroughly reviewed. They look at the scores to determine eligibility. They look at the liabilities. They look at past history. They look to see if there's charge-offs or collections or things that may live in there that might cause somebody not to qualify during the process. An automated approval is also run most of the time, depending on the type of loan you're getting. The automated approval determines, based on the information that you put into the system, whether you get an approved eligible to meet, most likely, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, or VA requirements. The challenge is it's garbage in, garbage out. If we put bad information in there, we may get an approval based on bad info. So the automated approval in and of itself is not enough to guarantee approval. After all of this stuff is done, then the file is presented to the appropriate staff members that can determine that we've met all the eligibility of the loan requirements, that we're in compliance, and all of the documentation and the automated approval match and will stand up during an underwrite. This is when a formal pre-approval can be issued, and this is one in which somebody can be certain can go to closing. Unless something materially changes in someone's profile, someone that follows a thorough pre-approval process should be able to get you to the closing table on time with no surprises. Oh, it's no wonder, based on the fallacies of the pre-qualification versus pre-approval, that realtors' number one gripe out there, 65% of the time, is whether the pre-approval being presented on an offer on their property is real or not. Oh, if you want more security and want to understand a better process, ask us about our certified pre-approval process. It's designed to help our buyers and our realtor partners to be protected throughout the whole process. So hope that brings some light on pre-qualified versus pre-approval. We'd love to help you or anybody you know. Check us out on the website. We look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great week.